Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and we're doing a no-run-through review for Dreadful Circus, and oh boy is this game dreadful.
Nice.
I was working really hard on that one. I think Portal Games and Bruno Feduti just totally dropped the ball on this. This is
This game's a load of
this game is just not great. If this game was the only of its kind, I think it would be like, wow! And if it also came out 10 years ago, it'd be like, wow! But there's already games that have came out that do this same kind of concept and, you know, hit the nail on the head.
This is proof that you can make a game.
You can and sell it if you if you have a well-known name and you have a publisher backing it. Then yeah, you'll sell it.
You can make a game.
It sold over 4 copies already.
So normally I don't take into any stock really with Board Game Geek ratings, just because you have the dumbasses who rated the 1 for no reason and then rated the 10 for no reason. But I was very intrigued, and we were talking about this before we played it. This is a 6, and I'm like, it's brand new, and normally brand new games always skew higher.
Yeah.
More than I sometimes think they should. But in this case, not many people are very happy with it, mainly in terms of production quality, the way the card effects, and just lack of understanding of what some of them do. Because it's like, yeah, you made a game that's simple, but you didn't put any thought behind it.
Mm-hmm. How much is this game?
I don't remember. I'll look that up. While you guys tell me what you think. Zach, you and I tend to disagree on games.
I think this is a prime example of a party game that's rated low. Anytime I see a party game, even if it's new, it'll rate a little bit higher and then it drops down. I've seen great party games that are rated a 5, like Bang. Bang is one of my favorite games of all time. It's rated horribly. I love it.
Yeah, I've never played it.
This game's not. I watched the video prior to even playing it, and they make it look great, and the art is really great.
The art's really cool.
I can see 8 people sitting at a table and drinking and having fun with this game, but it's not balanced at all. It's just completely random. It's one of those games.
Well, see, and the argument I'll make for that is you're not wrong. You can play this game and have a good time because it's very light and it's more about just hanging out with your buddies. But a lot of people say that about like online multiplayer games. It's just like, oh, this game's a blast with your friends. Literally anything is fun with your friends. Joining a cult is fun with your friends. So I don't give that a lot of stock into anything because it obviously means nothing. Now, could I bring this out in a group of people that aren't my friends and have a good time? Probably not, because especially what this game wants to bring out, I'm feeling, is that sense of negotiation and bluffing and deduction, except it does none of that well.
Well, and
I was looking up how much this was.
we didn't start playing into that, but it really isn't part of the mechanic. Like, for example, Sheriff of Nottingham, it's a core part of the mechanic.
Right, that's the whole point.
The strategy,
because that's the thing.
Is bluffing and then faking that you're not even bluffing.
So it goes for 40 regular, but on miniature market it's 28. So
Is that used?
No, that's new. No, normally
there's a bunch of used copies out there already.
They're returned, ding and dent. Well, because in Sheriff of Nottingham there is a consequence to you bluffing.
Yes.
Like, and in this, if I'm like, hey, I put a lot of money in there, you can be like, oh, okay, let me check. No, you didn't. I'm not taking that. And it's like, oh, all right. Why'd I lie?
It's like the sheriff is trying to bluff themselves.
Yeah.
Because you go, do I want this or do I want what's behind door number 2?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta find
Sheriff
out.
of Nottingham's one of those that's really easy to teach and has a high level of mastery. We already learned the meta in this game.
Yeah.
Yes, you go for the tokens. If you get token cards, you're probably going to do well as long as you plan accordingly.
Right, because in one of the games, it was literally like Brett had a shit ton of money. You and Kat both had great combinations, and I only had contracts.
Yeah.
And I won by, it was like 5 points was the point spread from first to second, but still, it was like, okay, yeah, lucky me.
Yeah.
So
you opened the box and you picked,
I guess so. Or I happened to use all my money wisely to get cards that let me take these from people. It was just like, it's stupid. These contracts do nothing. And to be fair, I don't much care for a lot of set collection games because it ends up being just that. Kind of my same thing with like Furnace, for example. It's an engine builder, solid engine builder, but I want the engine to do something. Yeah. Like I like that in addition to a lot of other things. Same with set collection. Champions of Midgard has a set collection thing, but you do stuff in the game to collect those sets. Here, it's just like, oh yeah, here's 2 coins. It's so fucking arbitrary. Kat, what do you think? Your favorite game, right?
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, best of 2021.
Yeah, I was so engaged the whole time.
Right.
I couldn't take my eyes off of my own stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else to look at.
Yeah.
Except for the nice art.
Yeah,
nice art.
Even the box cover, I think, is solid.
Yeah,
this is a theme that I would love in like a heavy worker placement, like even like a Dinosaur Island, but with a creepy carnival. Yeah. And we see that a lot. I feel like Brett and I have played games where I was like, I just want this theme in better games, and they never are.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just so easy to have a good idea and not be able to execute it. Like it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, okay, this is what we've got. Like it's gonna be a Dreadful Circus, and then it's just so like, yeah, it is. Like I don't know. And I was not impressed. It wasn't really fun.
Right, and to be completely honest, this is the pasted on theme. The theme has absolutely nothing to do with anything in the game. Yeah.
It's what's selling it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what drew me to it, and I knew the designer and I knew the company. I was like, okay, that sounds like it'll be a good combination. So it is my fault for not looking into what the game is about, but I do that a lot. I back a shit ton of Kickstarter games, and I'm like, what's that about? Oh, I don't remember. I just backed it.
And usually designers and companies feel like they have a reputation to uphold.
Yeah.
This one apparently doesn't.
No,
as much.
It really totally drops the ball. I mean, even if you take another game that technically kind of has a pasted on theme, but is set collection, Carnival of Monsters. Have you guys played that? It's Richard Garfield, and it has an air of magic that you can feel because it's Richard Garfield, but it is set collection with capturing, magical monsters.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that. I played
Monster Expedition is another smaller box game, right. Set collection. But those do it well. There is substance to the game. Here, I'm trying to think of things that I like, and if I were to even say potentially the card effects, it can't even be that because you have your own hand of cards and you're like, man, I want to use all of these, but you don't get to.
Yeah.
So you have to hope that other people play cards that are useful to you, but your hand is literally just an offer row. You might as well just lay them out and just randomly draw one.
Except for the 3 that you refuse to let anyone have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in a game that's about bidding and trying to kind of like Isle of Skye it, where you have like the tokens behind it, it's like, okay, so I know they really want that one, so I'm going to really, like there's some strategy to putting money behind it. Here, you're like, well, that's really good. Okay, you might have a lot of gold. I'll bid that, and you have to make me an offer I can't refuse, and none of you did. Okay. Right. So, that's it. That's the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many games that are set collection games that have done this better. Like Chinatown, I think about too, where that game is aggressive from the beginning to the end, but you're still having fun because you're kind of talking shit with your friends, and this is just like, okay, we did a thing. Like it's really casual, so that's kind of a knock both against it and for it.
Yeah.
You're not investing that much, so it's not like you're losing that much at the end of the day. Like,
right.
I think the first game that we played with learning, it took us 40 minutes.
Yeah.
45 minutes.
And that's what it says. It does say 45 minutes. And, I mean, honestly, I would rather play Splendor than this. At least, I think this has zero thought behind it. At least Splendor, and replayability. At least in Splendor, there's some decision to make in terms of the tokens you take.
Yeah.
And you are aware of what other people are trying to do, so you can interfere.
Yeah.
That's a good
The take you mechanic
point.
Works because it makes sense.
In Splendor?
Yeah.
And in this, good on bringing that up, because this game just has take that for zero reason.
There's no strategy. It's definitely not a strategy game at all.
It just feels more mean, and I get that's in the inherently in the concept of take that, but it's more like, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna steal that from you, and it's like, great, I played 20 minutes just to get my second tableau card.
Yeah, there was a card that allowed you to pick one type of token, and that, with the way that you have to collect things, would completely ruin someone's game.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're basically going to watch the entire game. There's no coming back from that.
Yeah. And I happened to have that card, and I was the only one going for contracts. So, because you like made me an offer, I think it was like of money and green and purple. And I'm like, even if I took that, you're just going to be like, oh, purple, and then just take all the ones I had, which would have been all 4 of them.
Right.
And yeah, you're right. So even the take that cards are just like, ooh, lucky me, I have that. Anyway, this is just a wash. None of you are going to offer me anything that I'm going to take. So then the take that just becomes, why is it even in the game?
Mm-hmm.
This game kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Love the art, though. The art is very, very good. Component quality is kind of ass. These wagons,
Which,
or whatever they're called, are very thin and very cheap. They didn't even go with cardboard.
it's already kind of ripping.
Oh, well, yeah, it's because the thin tuck things, I had to like kind of push them in to get them to stay.
Yeah.
This is kind of mind-boggling. Like, and it makes me sad because typically these kinds of themes are always wasted on shitty games. So hopefully someone takes this theme and does something great with it. You can make a fantastic card game about this.
Yeah.
I wish I had an example. Like, I feel like I've seen something like this before. Kind of like, did you guys ever play Abomination, Heir of Frankenstein?
This reminds me of Modern Art too.
I haven't played
Brighter
that.
Knizia. You auction different cards, and there's different styles of auctions depending on what card that you play.
Okay.
It's well thought out. It's very simple, and it takes about the exact amount of time. If you're thinking about getting this game, go
Don't.
buy Modern Art by Brighter Knizia. It's a much better game.
Yeah.
It's
Or
cheaper, I think.
Yeah. Or literally get Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah.
If you want that party kind of style where it's not a drinking game, because party games are always kind of like hey, we're probably going to start drinking soon.
Yeah.
Let's just kind of loosen up. This doesn't have that. Sheriff of Nottingham definitely can, especially if you want to open up, because there's a lot of negotiation in that. And it's like, man, are you lying to me? If you're fucking lying to me.
For example, if somebody looked at my bid in this game, my wagon, and refused it, I say, okay, let me give you 2 more coins.
Right.
Sweeten the pot as it goes, but that's not
No.
built in as an option. We
No.
could have thrown that in.
And you
No.
can do that in
Sheriff, that's encouraged.
Yeah, and there was one instance where, like, when Zach made me an offer, and I was like, okay, if I take this, are you going to use it? And he's just like, no. And I'm just like, nope. That was the only instance where we laughed. The rest of it was...
Half the time it was just like not
or shaking an empty box.
Yeah.
There was even a time where Kat put the card out, and Brett and I were like,
Yeah.
there you go. There's our nothing. It's
Fair
just...
enough. Yeah.
And that's not... I don't think that's nothing the game brought out. So,
We had fun despite the game.
yeah, that's true. Only because we're friends, so that's why. All right, I don't want to talk about this any more than we have to. Literally get anything else.
I could keep going for another hour.
Please don't. I want to
Nice
play better.
art.
I want to play better games. That's all we
Yes,
got.
that's literally
all right,
it,
on a
yeah.
scale of 1 to 10, I'll go ahead and start.
Go.
I'm gonna give it a 3. I think it's inherent. I gave Splendor a 5. I thought it was an average game, which a lot of people are like, 5? What? That's a worse score. It's like, no, there's literally 4 numbers lower than that. Splendor's about an average game. I wouldn't ever really be like if someone wanted me to play, I'd be like, all right. I would actively say no to this. It's like, nah, I don't want to sit around.
I'd slap them.
What the fuck you say?
You ever talk to me?
Here's the other thing that makes this game inherently bad. You need at least 4 people.
Yeah.
It's
how
a 4 to
fucking
8 player
weird.
game. I mean, now it's easier to get 4 people over than it has been for me in the past. But if I'm getting at least 4 people, I would own Captain Sonar because that requires at least 4 people.
Is that the- no, never mind.
It's a real-time
I was thinking
head-to-head
about
team
it.
game. It's fantastic. It's honestly one of the best gaming experiences. I never own it because it's best with 8. You can do 6 and be pretty all right, but 6 or 8. The fact that you need 4 is another reason why it's lower, because 4 is about below, like it's slightly below average, but I think this is a below average game.
Yeah.
So that's that's my score. Brett?
Art 8.
It is really good.
Actual game. I'll say 2.
2? Oh god.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna slap somebody for it. I will grudgingly go along with it once and then say, nah.
Ever ask me again, then I'll slap you.
See, I can see people playing it for the first time and going, wow. Getting into it, enjoying it if they don't play real games. After it going, I can't imagine anyone wanting to play it again. Honestly.
And just going, wow. Well, I'll be leaving now.
That just ruined. Like, I know we had a whole game day planned. I'm done. I
They
don't
go
want
to
to.
the
I don't want.
bathroom and they sneak out the window. They never come back. Like you see them
I
running
didn't
across.
have a window in my bathroom. They
We'll make one.
cut it out
If we have to, we'll dig one.
like a saw.
We're in a basement.
All right, Zach.
I give it a 4.
Yeah.
I didn't hate my time with it. It was entertaining, but it's definitely at the lower end of my list as far as 4-player games that I could play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm actually right there with him. I was going to give it a 4.
Give it a 4.
Yeah.
Honestly, like a 3. 3 initially would be like a 4 is where I was sitting at.
Yeah.
But the requirement of player count, and then also I really don't like games where there's a meta. In fact, if there's something I hate more than just kind of going through the motions of games, is having a meta, because then at least going through the motions, there's still different decisions to make. Meta games, it's like, wow, there was literally no reason for me to play this ever again.
Yeah.
So 3-2. I wasn't expecting it to, but that's funny. Wow. And that's our thoughts on Dreadful Circus. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.